Hi everyone, welcome. This is Roxanne with you. Today I'll be talking to you about love and relationships. I know some persons are pretty excited to talk about love and relationships, and I have some special tips for you. I have some things for couples who are trying to improve their relationships, and we're going to be doing that on another segment, but just tell you what the lineup is. And we have some things for those who are interested in dating, trying to improve, their date life and things like that. And we have things for persons who are improving their family relationships. So we have a whole lineup coming up for love and relationships. This is a love boost, okay? But today we want to talk about things that we could address with ourselves before we even think about the long-term and committed relationships. So if you're trying to improve on your committed long-term relationship, then we have to start with ourselves. So first of all, let's examine the kind of attachment style that we have. And our attachment style really is how we think and behave in our relationships, and it's developed in childhood, and it impacts how we operate, how we think, how we feel as adults in relationships, and how, especially in romantic relationships as well. So we want to think about that. We have several types of attachment styles. One, we have what is called the secure attachment style. And this is persons who tend to, they're able to form healthy and committed relationships. They're able to resolve conflicts. They're attentive. They're available in relationships. They tend to be independent in their relationships. Not being overly needy. They tend to also be affectionate, and so it's easy to form long-term relationships to someone who has that form of secure attachment. And so we want to talk a little bit about that. But we have persons who struggle with attachment concerns. We have insecure attachments. And for one kind of insecure attachment is the anxious style. And these are persons who they're very sensitive to criticisms in relationships. They're not very trusting of their significant other, and this is without evidence. There's no evidence to support their suspicious behaviors. They always think that there's something going on. And you can just imagine what are some of what the outcome might be in a relationship where someone is extremely suspicious. They're always investigating, thinking that something is happening when, and there's really no evidence to support that behavior. But it's just a form of attachment, and this could have developed in their, this developed actually in their childhood, and it's now being, it's playing out in their adult life as well. And these persons, they tend to be, what we consider to be very needy. They're always, seeking for approval as well from their partners, or their, the significant other in their relationship. So it causes a lot of conflicts. So we want to think a little bit about our attachment concerns. We also have those other persons who do have insecure attachments, and this is what we call the avoidant insecure attachment type. And these persons, they tend to be those individuals who are aloof in a relationship. They're cold, they're overly rigid, they're unable to express their needs and wants easily. It's a struggle to be in a relationship with someone who is, who is like that. So they seem to lack a lot of empathy. And so, there might be a lot of problems with someone who really they're not able to communicate well with somebody who has this particular attachment style. There's a lot of difficulty in this relationship. And then you have a mixture of both. You have the anxious avoidant type in a relationship. So there's, either one extreme to the next. The person can be aloof in one instant, where they're cold, where they're just not present in the relationship. And in another instance, they're like a very suspicious, they're very needy, and they're, very overbearing in the relationship. So those are some of the attachment styles that we have. We want to work towards having a lot more secured attachments in our relationships. And all hope is not gone. This is something that persons do develop in their childhood, and for the most part, they have nothing to do with that. So don't feel as if, what am I going to do? I feel like I'm, in this insecure attachment style, so I'm causing so much problems in my relationships. But there's hope. You can actually do things to help yourselves. One of the things that you can practice is what is considered to be a lot more evidence-based thinking. So you assess situations when you feel suspicious of the actions. For example, if you're significant person, you might want to think a little bit. Is there evidence to support the way I'm thinking and feeling right now? And if there isn't any evidence, you might want to just pretty much get yourself to drop the thought that you're having, because we want to practice a lot more evidence-based and supportive thinking. And that's important. And another thing that you want to try to engage in, you want to make sure that you're having those conversations. You're being trying your best to be open and honest in a relationship. You want to communicate, start practicing communicating your needs and your wants in a more controlled way, slowly but surely. So you could start with very small conversations that you feel comfortable with, and then you can engage in the conversations that might be a lot more difficult for you to express yourself. But this is a partnership, so you want to feel supported by the person you're in a relationship with, and they know that you're trying your best, and they're commending you for your efforts as well. So this is something that you could practice if you find yourself in this particular insecure attachment style, or actually practicing some of the traits of this style. And another important thing that you want to do as well, if you find yourself in this style, you want to get yourself into some sessions or counseling. You want to address these issues in a lot more controlled way. So if you have those childhood past experiences that are affecting your relationships currently, you want to talk to a counselor. You want to be able to express those deep hidden thoughts and emotions that have affected you over the years. And you find yourself getting a lot more feeling a lot more safe and secured in relationships. When you start doing that, you have to be able to process those thoughts, and you have to be able to get them out, whether it's going to be and your therapist can work with you to get you to journal these thoughts out, or and engage you in activities that will help you to express your emotions a little bit more. So those are some things that you want to do. So remember, all hope is not lost. You can do things to help yourself, and you can get the kind of support that you need as well. So stay tuned. This is what we're going to be talking on. There's a lot more coming up. So please be alert, and continue to share the information with persons who this might be useful for. So thanks for tuning in. This is a wrap. See you next time.